All right, so you wanted to know what happened with that plane crash in Philadelphia, but not just the news reports, right? You're interested in what we can learn from how people were searching for information online.
Yeah, it's like we're tapping into the city's collective thought process as the story was unfolding.
Exactly. And we've got a mountain of search terms to look at. Some of them, I have to admit, are a little strange. Like right away, we see pediatric showing up a lot. It's one of the top searches, even before people knew the basic facts of what even happened.
Huh. That's interesting, isn't it? It seems like even before they knew any details, people were already thinking about a child maybe being involved.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder, did that maybe influence how the news was first reported? We'll have to look at that a little bit later. But first, let's figure out some of the basics. We know a plane crashed in Philadelphia, but what kind of plane was it?
Well, Learjet 55 pops up a lot. So it wasn't a big commercial plane, it was a smaller private jet.
A Learjet crashing near a big city. That already sounds kind of scary. But the search term, Roosevelt Mall, makes me think things might be even more complicated.
It looks like the crash happened near or even at the mall, which makes this whole thing even more worrying.
Just imagine right after it happened. All those questions people must have had. And we see that in the search trends: what happened, why, video. It's almost like people were really desperately trying to figure out what was going on in all the chaos.
You can almost feel the urgency in those searches, like a need to understand what just happened. And these days, that usually means wanting to see it for yourself. Video, being one of the top searches, says a lot about how much we depend on seeing things to understand them.
It's like we need to see it to believe it, to really get what happened. But wanting to see it also makes you think about some other things too, right? Like what if there's misinformation spreading online?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a good point. When people are rushing to find answers, they might run into videos or pictures that aren't real or are taken out of context.
So it's like a reminder to be careful with what we see online, especially in situations like this where everybody's feeling a lot of emotions and just want answers.
It's true.
And while we're talking about all the ways people were searching for information, it's pretty interesting to see all the different ways people were typing things. We see Philly, Philadelphia, even plane dot crash, and they all mean the same thing.
It's like a snapshot of the panic and confusion.
Oh, yeah.
People just typing whatever they can as fast as possible to get any information.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody cares about grammar when something like this is happening.
Yeah.
It's all about speed and getting information.
Okay, so let's recap. We have a Learjet 55 that might have had a child on board. It crashed near a mall in Philadelphia. And we've seen how people were frantically searching for answers, trying to find videos, and how all that urgency can lead to unreliable information.
And don't forget about how people were feeling. Those searches for pediatric tell us that people were immediately worried about a child possibly being involved, maybe even before they knew for sure. It makes you wonder how much our natural empathy shapes what information we look for and care about.
That's a great point. It's not just about the facts of the crash. It's about how those facts make us feel. And that's something we'll definitely talk more about as we get deeper into this whole thing and what happened afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. It's interesting, as we're putting all these search terms together, I'm really struck by how quickly people went from searching about the crash itself to the response.
Yeah.
Like Philadelphia News, Emergency Resources, Philadelphia Fire, those all start trending right away.
It's like this digital wave of worry going through the city. Everyone wants to know, is everyone okay? And what's being done?
Exactly. And it's not even just about finding information. It's also about feeling safe again. When there's a crisis, those local institutions become really important.
It's like that saying, local news is what happens when the world comes to your town. And suddenly all those local searches are so much more important.
That's a good point. And if you look even closer, you see searches for Mayor of Philadelphia and even Josh Shapiro, the governor.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about how they're responding to the emergency right now. It's also about who's in charge and who's taking responsibility.
Exactly. It shows how much we need to see someone in control, a leader, especially when things are scary and uncertain.
And while everyone's focused on Philadelphia, we also see searches for crashes in other places like Texas, California, Missouri.
It just reminds you that even though this event is what everyone's talking about right now, aviation incidents happen, unfortunately. It makes you think about the safety of air travel in general.
Yeah, because every time something like this happens, we think, could that happen to me? Could it happen here?
Which takes us back to what we were talking about earlier with people searching for video. It's normal to want to see what happened and try to understand it by watching it. But wanting to see everything can also be risky.
especially when you think about how fast information spreads online and how easily misinformation can take over.
Exactly. Someone might share a video saying it's from the crash, but it could be totally fake.
Right.
Or a photo might be real, but used in the wrong way to create a false story.
It's like a game of telephone where the truth changes every time someone shares it. So how do we, as people looking for information, figure out what's real in all of this?
It comes down to thinking critically and being media literate. You have to ask, who's sharing this? What's their reason for sharing it? Is this a source I can trust? So basically, don't believe everything you see, right? Be skeptical, look for confirmation from different sources, and trust real news outlets and official statements.
Absolutely. And sometimes the best thing to do is just say, I don't know yet. It's better to wait for real information than to accidentally spread rumors and wrong information. Okay, so we've talked about why people want to see things and how important it is to think critically and be careful of misinformation. But what about how all of this made people feel? We keep coming back to those searches for pediatric, the thought of a child being on the plane.
That's a good point. It shows how much empathy we have and how much stories about people affect us. A plane crash with a child involved is going to make people feel things more strongly than one with only adults.
It makes us feel protective.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, did all that focus on the pediatric part maybe make people forget about other important parts of what happened?
It's an interesting question. Did it change how the media reported on the crash? Did it change how the public saw the event? We don't know for sure, but it's something to think about when we look at the bigger story.
It reminds us that even in a world full of data, our emotions still control how we see and understand information. And we can't forget that when we're trying to understand the real impact of something like this.
You know, what's really interesting to me is that this whole conversation, this deep dive into these search trends, has been about more than just a plane crash. It's about understanding how we as a society react to things like this in the digital age.
Yeah, it's almost like a study of how people look for information, all the anxiety, hope, and questions that come up when something like this happens. Wow, it feels like we've uncovered a lot already. From that initial shock and everyone trying to figure out what happened to all the worry for the people involved and looking to see who's in charge.
Yeah, you're right. It really shows how these search trends give us a peek into something much deeper than just words. We're actually seeing the human side of a crisis as it's happening.
And it's bigger than just this one event, isn't it? It kind of shows a pattern in how we all deal with information these days.
Absolutely. We're constantly getting hit with news from everywhere. And our first instinct is to go to those search bars and try to make sense of it all.
Yeah. But like we've seen, having all that information instantly can be good and bad. It's up to us to be smart about it and think critically about what we're seeing and reading online.
Couldn't agree more. You have to remember that not every source is trustworthy. And sometimes the best thing is to just admit that we don't have all the answers yet.
So a lot of what we talked about today comes down to being media literate, right? Knowing the difference between facts and guesses, being aware of biases, and knowing how to check if something's true before sharing it.
It's a really important skill to have nowadays, especially online. And it's something we should all be working on no matter how old we are or how good we are with technology.
So what does all this mean for you listening? What can you take away from our deep dive into the searches about the Philadelphia plane crash?
Well, I hope it makes you think more about the information you see around you, to be a little skeptical of the news, to ask questions, and to always try to see things from different perspectives.
And to remember that behind all those searches and data points are real people with real feelings. Empathy and understanding are just as important as knowing the facts when we're trying to figure out complicated situations.
That's right. It's about recognizing that human element that's part of everything.
So next time you see breaking news happening online, take a second to think about those search trends. Think about what they tell us, not just about the event itself, but about how people are reacting, what questions they have, and how they're feeling.
If we approach information with both curiosity and a critical mind, we can better understand the world around us and understand where we fit in.
And that's what the deep dive is all about, helping you connect the dots, uncover hidden layers, and get a deeper understanding of the stories shaping our world. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.